Well, friends and family, thank you for joining me here on the American News Network on YouTube. And we have an interesting warning coming from Vladimir Putin right now, live behind me. And what he is suggesting is that all Russian citizens vacate the United States immediately. Why would he be saying this unless he's planning on attacking us? He has also said over the last three times he's given us serious nuclear warnings. America is encroaching through Poland and through the Ukraine. We're being major pains in the butt to Russia. Russia's not been our enemy, but we are becoming Russia's. So these are things that are actually happening in America. It seems like Jackwagon Joe is trying his hardest to go to war. Now, it's nothing really that I want, it's nothing that you want, but it's something that's happening. And we're going to see, in my opinion, the Biden administration pardon every criminal they can, from Christopher Wray. Now, he is the FBI director, but he has resigned within the last couple of hours. And I bet he's going to get a pardon by the Biden administration. So will the entire Biden family crime syndicate. But the consequences of those crimes are going on here behind me. And we have Vladimir Putin talking pretty sternly, and I think he is talking to the other side of the war that we're basically starting. We have China completely surrounding the island of Taiwan within the last 24 hours. Xi Jinping might make this a time to take over Taiwan before Trump gets into office. So that's on the table. The other thing is why are we attacking Syria? It's going to be the Ukraine 2.0 for us. Probably the dumbest thing we can do. And I think it's a trap set by Putin because he knew that we'd be dumb enough to take the bait and spread ourselves thin. And we shouldn't be doing that. There are 7 different factions, if you include us, that are fighting for Syria. Let Benjamin Netanyahu take what he's going to take. But understand Al-Qaeda, the new force coming down north from Syria. They've got Russian and American equipment, and let them fight it out. In my opinion, what we should be doing is we should be retreating back into the Gulf of Mexico, and we should be taking out Maduro and taking back over the Panama Canal. If we could take over the Panama Canal, we'd protect the people of Taiwan. If we could take over Venezuela, we would secure our oil and gas interests here, and we could put stars on countries like Canada, Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, Venezuela, and concentrate on Christian communities here that are next door to us. Putin is warning us. He was like, why are you putting nuclear missiles in Poland? Why are you using Germany and the United Kingdom and France to attack me? He has given us stern warnings. He has now a 6.5 million man army. This is an army that is basically China with 2 million, North Korea with 1.3 million, Russia with a couple of 2.5. And then we have Hamas and everybody coming in. NATO with 500,000 to 800,000 is still 6 million below what Putin's dealing with if he encroaches and comes upon you. So these are all the things that we need to say, and this is Putin's new warning to us right now, and this is something that's happening. So Christopher Wray has resigned. Is he going to be getting a pardon? I think he is. I think we're going to see a pardon coming to General Miley for the aiding and abetting in creating the Taliban. And Jackwagon Joe's going to cover up his own tracks, just like Obama did when he did the same thing by giving all of our equipment to ISIS, leaving it in Iraq. And today, the United States of America is taking on fire, and it's killed our troops, courtesy of Barack Hussein Obama. And we also will be seeing the Taliban rise and fight us. As we saw all this equipment come into Syria, what I was noticing is that it was U.S. equipment that it was given, courtesy of Barack Hussein Obama, to ISIS. And we see Al Qaeda and ISIS using U.S. equipment. And I don't want our boys to be fighting our own equipment. We could let them fight it out. Just by letting them fight it out, we'll be dealing with the weakest force when we come back. I think that'd be strongest. I think this is a property grab, if anything, for Benjamin Netanyahu. He wants the Golan Heights, and he shall have it now. Did he and Biden successfully take out Assad? That's my question. Or did Putin allow it so that he would watch Netanyahu and America dwindle their resources? So this is a theory. The way he came out with no fight, I don't know. I have questions. Now, we lost our oil and gas assets to the Kurds today. We did bomb ISIS yesterday, but somehow, because of the Islamic resistance of Turkey, they came in with ISIS and overtook us with the Kurds. There's a lot of stuff happening. Again, we need to not retreat, but stop being the world's police force, you could say. And Vladdy P and the KGB, they've had it with Jackwagon Joe. He can't wait for Trump to come in, but he can't make any promises. And every day, Jackwagon Joe is doing something, just anything he can to annihilate the safety of America. And that's going on. And can we stop it? And I don't know if we can. So we're going to go over some other interesting stories and topics of the world, but I did want you to know that he has an alliance that he has created against us right now. And we have Belarus that has been able to join forces with Putin. And this is with Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. And he has given him the Oreshnik. Now, it's not nuclear powered only, we know now. He has a thermobaric, exact, precise bomb. And to me, he's threatening world leaders. He's threatening world leaders. So basically, if you, like Macron, Keir Starmer, Jackwagon Joe, he's basically making a direct threat to world leaders, saying, I don't need to take out your entire country. I'll take you out. This is a very precise weapon. Belarus with Latvia, Lithuania, Slovakia, all those places, you've been put on high alert. Okay, he will take out your central leaders and let the people live. I think he's wanting the old Russia back. Now, should we keep you the way that we are? Well, we have transformed America into satanic rituals, into child sacrifice, into the days of Molech. You tell me. Poroshenko and Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin stand to represent God and order. And they have taken a new stance on the LGBTQ Obama stance. And they've recognized that with the Zionist movement. And so this is now, in their opinion, good versus evil, heaven versus hell. And we'd be on the side of hell, according to Putin and Poroshenko, and according to people even of Islam. We fight for the rights, if you think about it, to murder our own children. Child sacrifice. So Israel has struck Syria. In fact, last night, they struck Syria 480 times, took out most of the military, and we assisted with the Navy. So the Navy, the Air Force, Turkey also helped. But is this a chopping block, or did Putin just watch us play our games? So even though Turkey came in, they warned, and look at this total destruction, 480 military sites we destroyed last night. And is this a trap set by Putin, or is he just going to watch the resistance? Now, the new Al-Qaeda resistance that came down first, they were working with Putin. Today, they flip-flopped. I think we're going to see a new dictator rise from Al-Qaeda. And I think that we're going to see maybe Israel fight for some property there as well. Do we back the Kurds? Do we literally, we have, just so you know, 5,000 troops fighting 1 million, 750,000 in Turkey, 250,000 there in Syria. Our troops are cannon fodder. And I want you to know that. And look at the massive destruction. This is all U.S. armament with Israel, but mainly this is the United States destruction. Why are we destroying the world? We should be feeding the world. No matter where we bomb, I want you to know there's American relatives that are in those houses. Think about that. We are a country of every country. This should not make you happy. This should make you cry. This should make you understand maybe the guy that fixes my car, maybe his mom was there. What did they do to us in America? Nothing. Why are we doing this with our money? Has the military-industrial complex become so powerful that we let it get away with murder? Now, I'm going to ask you those questions because when we look at the Syrian war, when we look at Gaza, no matter how much I back and love Israel, I can't justify the killing of children. And as a Christian, I can't. And we have to dive deeper into understanding the differences between Zionists and Jews, just like the difference between those that are Islamic and those that are following Hezbollah. So Hezbollah and Zionists are the extremists. But should we let them get away with this? Should we let the lobbyists of Israel persuade our politicians that somehow even the children in these buildings deserve to get murdered? No. No, by following Christ and just inherently inside, the angel of discernment should tell you what is intrinsically wrong. Blowing up areas that have kids is intrinsically wrong. When the disciples got together, they wanted to know who was the most favorite amongst all of them. Was it Simon Peter or was it Mary Magdalene? And Jesus put a child on his knee and he said, "This one comes before all of us." What about the children behind me? No nation is a nation of Christians. We need to bind together in the name of love, because love creates love, and hate creates hate. And these bombs are not sandwiches. And that's something that I have a problem with. We need to have peace in our planet. We need to stand up for what is right. We need to defend the children of the world together, because we can't have a tyrannical government that's getting away with murder. My name is Chris Sanders, and thank you for joining me here on the American News Network as we defend the children of the world together and democracy as it's been stolen. We have 40 more days that we've been held hostage here in the United States of America. I pray that somehow that we can make it together. Today, the Ayatollah Khomeini announces that he wants to see basically the head of Benjamin Netanyahu on a platter, and it reminds me of the days of John the Baptist. And we have all of these allies in this whole entire war, and none of it has anything to do with me and you. I want us to concentrate on peace and love, not hate. I don't want this culture of hate to be here. I can see how Europe has opened the doors to it. I can see how we're tasting a little bit of it now. We need to gain control of America. We need to be the majority of our own society, for when we're the minority, which we are now in states like Texas and Florida, you can see it, and the fabric has been torn, and what we know as America has been destroyed. This is their culture behind me that you're seeing. This is how they live every day. This is what they do. And we can't invite that culture here. And what we've been doing lately is we've been sending all of our money to the Ukrainian laundromat. That's the Jewish part of Russia, old school Russia that defected. When you watch Fiddler on the Roof, it's Jewish Russia. All the money's going to either Jewish Russia in the Ukraine or into Jewish Israel. But I want you to understand they're going to steal $24 billion. And I've already demonstrated how, even since November the 5th, our government has already stolen $13 billion from us. So they're halfway there. They only have 11 more billion. And you wondered if I was going to be correct. How is Jackwagon Joe going to steal $24 billion? And remember, over about half of it's money laundering. Is Trump going to go after this crime? Because every day there's crime going on. So we had $8 billion in an aid package get granted to the Ukraine yesterday. We have $5 billion in United States arm equipment from the Army and the Marines going to Syria and going to the Ukraine. Don't you think that should stay here at home? Camp Pendleton is 75% depleted. When will America realize that bribery and treason has existed in the highest realms of office, and that the Israeli government and their lobbyists have truly rigged our Congress and our Senate? When I hear them talk, it's basically a competition on as to who serves Benjamin Netanyahu better, who likes him more. How can we just say he's such a fine, outstanding ambassador, a king? Give him any title of nobility we can, even though it's a violation of the Constitution. As Speaker Johnson introduced him as His Excellency Benjamin Netanyahu, that's Article 1, Section 9, Article 1, Section 10, title of nobility, violation of the United States Constitution, flagrantly in front of all of us. But we can't even justify it. We have to swallow it as we swallow the bill also that he gives us. Because somehow they figured out how to rob Peter and pay Paul. What do you mean? Well, they just know they can invest in war and take that $10, pocket two, give it back to me and you, to one of our friendly people known as a senator or a congressman. Oh, you don't say. Good old Uncle Sam, the House of Representatives, how are they working for you today? Well, doesn't take a genius to understand that it's money laundering 101. Now, every time I hear of Israel or the Ukraine, it gets my ass tired. Because as I see us helping them in the name of religion, which they do not follow, as we murder our children, treat thy brother the way you wanted to be treated thyself, as we have. 500,000 plus homeless American citizens, 107,000 homeless Americans, 607,000 verified homeless Americans, while we have the audacity to send all that money away and let everybody here go cold this winter. That's why we need Trump back in the White House. Because right now it's a crack house. Right now that crack house is in this laundromat system of Zelensky and Jackwagon Joe has denigrated society into nothing. Can Vance and can Trump save the day? Or is it too late? Did we let the capital of the Ukraine, did we let the capital of Jerusalem take precedence over the capital of the United States of America? I think we have. I think that treason has happened. I think our Constitution has been violated. And I think now's the time for us. A call to action needs to be in place for us to unite and to hold hands in the name of love and peace. We need to keep our money here. We need to feed thy neighbor. Russia has announced that all of her citizens should leave the United States immediately. And I want you to know that. Usually countries say that before they bomb them. And then we're going to hear, oh, we weren't warned, Chris. No, the Capitol should be warning you, but they're not. So I'm sending this warning out. Please spread this, share this far and wide. Vladimir Putin has requested that all citizens of Russia leave the United States. This sends shivers down my spine. He has threatened us with Sarmat, Poseidon, Oreshnik. I think Oreshnik will be used against Europe. If Sarmat gets used on the United States, we're finished. We know that our government will immediately surrender because they already have. The fact that Trump isn't in office now and the fact that we have January 6ers still in prison lets you know that we're not a democracy and that we are a dictatorship that has been happening since they stole this last election. And the quantifiable proof is how come the last election had 20 to 23 million people that we didn't have on this one that never existed? And look at the actions of this country, how we have pulled out of Afghanistan. We gave the Taliban an $85 billion gift, which was treason, which was aiding and abetting the enemy. We then let every American out on the street. We put every Ukrainian supposedly in front of us when it was a lie because all those Ukrainian men have been killed. We're continuing to fund Zelensky, $8 billion more when he's not even a president. He's termed out. The president we have is so inept he can't even run another term, but we're giving him the keys to rob us blind and start World War III. I think Putin and Xi Jinping and the world has had enough of it in our games and our shenanigans. And the laundromat of the Ukraine being run by the NATO and the EU is just something that's not going to be sustainable. It has met its end. I believe that we have 40 days until something major happens. A redefinition of the United States of America, perhaps, or the complete fall of Europe and what we knew as Europe. Something big is on the horizon. And what gave me that clue is, again, Vladimir Putin ordered all Russian citizens to leave the United States of America today for your own personal safety. Don't you think that it's time for us to get a hold of our politicians and straighten them out? Because our life is on the line, our children's lives are on the line. We have let these people get away with murder. By that I mean the 14,000 children in Gaza that we aided and assisted in the murdering of. We gave equipment to Benjamin Netanyahu, who is an ICC, International Criminal Court's war criminal. It was given by our Secretary of State, Mr. Jewish Anthony Blinken, as he has aided and abetted in these war crimes. Every single person in our cabinet will be needing to get a pardon, but will the international criminal courts validate those pardons that Jack Wagon Joe is going to give to every single member of Congress, which has helped terrorize this planet? Whether it's Lloyd Austin, whether it's General Miley, whether it's Anthony Blinken, Janet Yellen, they are a bunch of criminals that have done nothing but make this world a horrible place. And they have done nothing but give every American a horrible line of credit. We used to be respected back in the days of Reagan. And today they hate us worldwide because they know that we represent crime, lies, and extortion. We let Zelensky and we let Netanyahu, together with Larry Fink and BlackRock with Joe Biden, we let those men, through the influence of George Soros, destroy America. We need to keep each other informed. We need to pray for each other in the future. The only way we will survive is if we have term limitations. Understand that Doge is real. Understand that Matt Gaetz is very so much about term limitations. He'll be working with Pam Bondi as her right-hand man. And we need to help Kash Patel. We need to help Vivek Ramaswamy and everybody of competence that the president puts in place so that we can destroy the shadow government, which is destroying America. God bless you, and thank you for listening to me here live on YouTube on the American News Network with Chris Sanders. Please like, please share, and please subscribe, and I hope everybody is able to hear me clearly on this channel. We need to stop helping the Ukraine. We need to help ourselves. Stop being so concerned about the splinter in our brother's eye when there's a plank in our own. God bless you. Amen.